So you hear about shungite and how it's great for water and water purification, that it removes toxins from drinking water and makes it safe to drink, and that it also will make your water alkaline. There's also the information that shungite contains the element C60 in it, and that's a fullerene that that's what makes it so special in the beginning. But after doing a lot of research and some studying of myself and doing some of my own experiments, unfortunately I found that the claims for shungite for water itself are unfortunately not as true as I would have initially believed. Now, this is not coming from a hateful place. This is coming from just a point of truth and no emotional attachment. And I'm very disappointed with the results that I have come and found. But first, I want to talk about the C60. Now, the research that I have found was from a video on YouTube, and this video talked about and linked multiple independent studies that show that shungite itself, elite shungite specifically, does contain fullerenes, but to a very minimal degree, almost to the point where you can say shungite contains 0.00000 amount of fullerenes in it, and that would be a scientifically accurate statement. Now, the fact that shungite can contain fullerenes, but it's not exactly known what type of fullerenes in the study, because there's many different types of carbon 60, which is what C60 is. Unfortunately, information just isn't there to back up that claim. Now, in regards to shungite for drinking water, I myself believed to a T that shungite would remove all toxins and all particulates and make your water drinking safe. Now, when I first started making shungite water, I was using type 2 shungite, and that's the second tier, and it has a minimal amount of carbon, which is what you need to actually filter your water. So after I found that out and I needed elite shungite, I invested a lot of money to getting the proper ratio. The proper ratio that I found that is the most scientifically accurate and the best to use is 1 gram of shungite for every 10 grams of water. And so when you do the math and you translate the equations, it turns out you're going to need about 2.5 pounds to filter 2 gallons of shungite. Yeah, 2.5 pounds of shungite to filter 2 gallons of water. That's quite a bit, and if you've looked into elite shungite, you know that can get very, very expensive very, very fast. Thankfully, I was able to source out my materials very well, and I was able to get a good deal and make some good savings, even with getting shungite from people that directly mine shungite themselves. Most of the shungite I got, I couldn't use because it had too many contaminants in the actual stone. So, at the end of this video, I won't show the actual video of me doing the test just because it would take too much time to edit, and I want to get this information out to the public. But at the end of this video, I have 2 tests that I did on my own with a water reader and an alkaline water reader. And it shows conclusively that shungite type 2 really shouldn't be used for water, period. Some pieces will be safe, but ultimately shungite type 2 contains iron oxide, aka pyrite, titanium dioxide, and silica, and some other stuff that I can't remember off the top of my head. Now, if you do want to pursue using shungite for water, and I do want to say that using elite shungite for water does have a lot of positive benefits, just not as many as there are initially made to claim. Having gone through an elite shungite detox myself, it's very intense, it's very heavy, it pulls a lot of stuff out, makes you pee a lot when you're drinking nothing but shungite water. So I just want to make that clear. I believe heavily in the power of shungite, using it for EMF protection and for using it to clear and charge your spaces and other stones. Perfect. I actually have this beautiful pendant made by my friend. There's a piece of elite shungite here, and I wanted it over my heart space because I know that it does energetically help with the body. Now, using shungite therapeutically, as far as crystal healing goes, I myself have experienced a great amount of relief from pain, specifically using them as gemstone bracelets, and then the pieces that I have made specifically regarding my radionic pieces that use a lot of shungite and magnets and copper. It does work and it can help, but as far as shungite for water, unfortunately, I would not recommend it. That's not to say that shungite doesn't make good water better. Shungite does have, like I said, fullerenes, not a high amount, even if it's elite shungite. Even if it's elite shungite, it does not have a high amount of fullerenes. Even if that is C60, which, if you want to believe it does, that's fine. I kind of want to believe, but just like I said, off the research that I've seen, the independent studies that have been presented, there's no definitive proof that C60 is actually in shungite. C60 itself is an amazing, potent, powerful healing totem. If you want to learn more about that, I would recommend looking on YouTube and finding some videos. Don't recommend purchasing it just because it takes a lot of oil, and having too much oil in the body is not the best thing for you. So going back to shungite for water, like I said, I've used shungite for water for myself. It does make a huge difference if you're using a very good system. I'd recommend using a zero water system, not a sponsor. It just takes out all the particulates, so it makes it that shungite can give the water its spin back, and it does make the water charged with minerals. And if you don't know, shungite is ancient fossilized carbon. It's over 2 billion years old. It only comes from Russia. And at that point, I really don't have much more to say. Like I said, I really just wanted to get this information out. Sorry, this video is very rudimentary in regards to presentation. I keep stuttering, blah, 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 blah. But without further ado, take a moment and absorb this information. This is coming from someone that has spent hundreds of dollars of money for the use of shungite for water, using type 2 and elite shungite. I have it all titled in the next 2 slides that I have for you. So just really look at the information, and if you want to use shungite for water, please come to me directly. I will teach you how to use it properly and thoroughly and without poisoning yourself. Because if you do not use shungite properly, you will poison yourself with iron oxide poisoning and possibly something else that is maybe more dangerous. As far as I know, shungite is the most, if you're not using it right, shungite, when not used properly, will give you iron oxide poisoning, and you do not want that in your water. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Awesome. Thank you.